So now we're going to come back to, again, Pinchas with a Yud Ze'ira.
Right.
And we find in other cases of a letter that's written small that usually what we can do is we can derive a meaning from the word without that letter in it. So, Vayavo Avraham lispod l'Sarah v'livkota, he comes to make a eulogy for Sarah and to cry for her. But to cry for her, the kaf in the word to cry for her is written small. Right. So the Midrash comes and fills in that he didn't cry only for her, but ulevita. He also cried for Sarah's daughter. So it implies that Sarah had a daughter who is not named, who is not named. And therefore, the Midrash has to come in and fill in why that letter can be read, why that word can be read without that letter. So
that can't always be the case with Zirah, because Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem, although they're Rabati.
Rabati we'll talk about afterwards. We'll talk about Zirah now. So
that's always
the thought with Pinchas being Pei Nun Pan turned towards him.
No pun intended.
Turned towards him. God turned towards him.
Right.
He just committed murder. Chas. He had mercy on him. Chusa ala malach.
Right.
So God turned to him and had mercy on him is implied by taking the yud out of his name. So again, why is the yud ze'ira? It also says God turned to him and had mercy on him, even though he committed a capital crime. He killed two people. He had mercy because he killed them with holy intentions.
Right.
So,
but even though you say you take even though it can be explained without the small letter, there still has to be an explanation why that letter is small in itself. Like for Livkotai, I always heard that as we don't make a huge display of our grief, then it's a show. It's like a tznius in grief. So the kana, why the kav as opposed to the other letters, okay, that's something else, but it's a small display of grief. So, like, why would the yud be small here? Maybe because he had no ego. There was no ego in Pinchas doing this.
So,
you know what I mean? He's
a letter yud also implies God's name,
right.
And
right.
The question is, when somebody has to die for something, their life force that was given by God is made less. So the yud, the holiness that was in that person, was made less by what Pinchas had to do.
I like that Pinchas himself made himself like that. It wasn't an ego thing that he did, like for fame or anything, you know.
Okay.
Right.
Again, you know, this we're surmising. I have no sources for this, so it would be probably you're more correct in that it would be reflexive on him. Okay, so Pinchas, because he does this act,
he's a Gilgal of Eliyahu Navi also.
We're going to get there.
Okay. We got Yud for Eliyahu.
Lachaina more. Therefore, the pasuk Yud Beit. So therefore, it is said, Hineni noten lo. I am giving to him etz briti, my covenant of shalom, of peace. And this is an exceptional word in that the letter vav in the word shalom has a split in the middle of it. There are most of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet are a contiguous shape, with the exception of hey that has a round part and a separate part, and kuf that has a round part and a separate part. All of the other letters, if you find them anywhere in Torah, and there is a split in the letter into two undefined pieces, that makes the Torah puzzle. That makes the Torah improper.
Can I see what it's supposed to look like?
Broken. So I know here.
Right. So
it says in the margin.
Let's get the.
Remember, there's a star over it, an asterisk, right? And then it says Vav Tia, which means a broken. But yet they mention it and they don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
isn't that weird?
There are a variety of opinions of the way a Vav Ketiyah should look. there
How many-
is
how many could there
the
be?
opinion that the top part should be bigger, and the bottom part should be smaller.
Okay.
There is the opinion that
That looks like an unsubstitute, by the
the
way.
top part should be bigger, and the bottom part should be smaller.
That looks like an explanation.
There
right?
is the opinion that you should have the two slightly separated out from each other. The concern with this one is
That
you
above
might
with the dot
think
on it?
that it's above with the dot on it. The concern,
Although there's no nikud in the Torah, so
So-
okay, whatever. Yeah.
I'm sorry, and the last opinion is this, directly over each other with a space in between.
You mean equal parts,
Equal parts with a space in between.
broken in half. Well, that's
Um,
the space, obviously.
There is no definition of which one of these is absolutely correct, and unfortunately this goes from the tradition of the Sofer of where he comes from.
They're all
um,
correct. They're all.
The other interesting point that I saw made about this is if you have the tradition of having the vav split, and we mentioned last week in private conversation that there are in fact some places that say, no, this is not kosher, you can't have a letter that's split, and for this word it is proper to have a full vav. So all of these might be proper variants. The question is, if any one of these was your minhag,
Yeah.
but the Sofer wrote it full, how do you correct it? And the difficulty is that vav can also be a reference to one of God's names,
Vav by itself.
vav by itself. So you are not actually allowed to take something that is God's name and to
Except by the-
erase any
except by the sota.
and to erase any part of it. So there was a number of questions that went back and forth on how to do this, and the consensus answer, I think that Rabbi Auerbach, was to add a little line underneath the line of everything else rather than breaking the vav.
Right, okay.
So that way you've made it complete, even though it's under the line of all of the other letters. He felt that was the best way to deal with this, because otherwise, if you have God's name written improperly, what you actually need to do is that entire section of Torah between where it's sewed and where it's sewed, you have to take that out. You have to replace the entire section
And not
and
even the
rewrite
column. There's like a couple of columns.
not the column, the entire piece of cloth.
How many columns are in a club?
Anywhere from three to five.
Mm.
So in this last idea,
Mhm.
would that look like a psik, or in the Torah that you read there is no mark?
There is never anything that is underneath the line. So it's a question as to whether you're allowed to do that, and that was felt to be the best way to correct this vav ze'ira, vav katia, if it's written incorrectly.
You're saying
So-
that you're saying that if God's name is rubbed out
If God's name is written incorrectly
or rubbed out,
or rubbed out,
then you have
then
to replace the whole cloth.
then that section becomes possible. Yes.
Is there anywhere else in the Torah that we have this?
So we have no other letter in Torah or in Nach that is broken like this. So this is unique.
And what's the deeper meaning?
where-
That can
So-
be peace, that should be shalom. It's not.
So now we're going to go over a variety of reasons why the vav might be split. So the first thing is that if you consider the word shalom, peace, without the vav in it, you get the word
Shalem.
shalem. You get the word complete. So
I could be more
We-
complete than you would. Yeah.
so we have the concept of that not only is he getting peace, but we're coming back to the same idea of he did not have kahuna, he did not have the priesthood before, and now he is complete in that he has priesthood. So he's getting both peace and he's getting completion of himself. So he's getting shalom and shlemut at the same time. So that is answer one that I found. We will.
That doesn't explain why the vav is broken.
Sure, because it has both words, both concepts in it. and when we discuss Ktiv and Kri, we'll get to that idea that you're implying both concepts by having spelling that tells you both things. Spelling and pronunciation that tells you both things.
With the perfect vav, you wouldn't come up with the shalom, right? Is that what you're saying?
So the second thing comes from Kedushin. Kedushin says that...
Kedushim or Kedushin?
No, Gemara Kedushin.
Kedushin, with a nun.
Kedushin.
Kedushin, okay.
So
you pronounced it, I almost didn't know what you were talking about, okay.
Gemara and Kedushin talks about a Kohen Baal Mum, a Kohen who has a wound that disqualifies him. And such a Kohen is not a Kohen, can't perform the duties of a Kohen.
The word mum should not have amongst the other, you'd think. The word shalom is broken in the mum, which is, that would be a mum and mum.
If he's shalem, if the Kohen is full, then he gets the rights of a Kohen, and he gets shalom. And if he is not shalem, then he doesn't have shalom. So there's a break. A Kohen who is not shalem can't have the ceremonial duties of another priest, and therefore he's got some incompleteness around.
But we have to learn that from here. Later there's a special pasuk that says Baal Mum. The whole thing with if he has one testicle broken
nonetheless.
Can I give one too?
You can give one too.
Which is very esoteric. I mean, the deeper meaning is that shalom, we think shalom is like nice Santa Claus. Sometimes for shalom you have to do painful things. That's, to me, you know what I mean? The fact that the word shalom is broken. Shalom you think is perfect and peace and everything. Sometimes to achieve shalom, you have a cancer, God forbid. Sometimes you have to do something to get rid of the cancer. You have to cut out.
We'll get to that idea, but yes.
But for now, that's wrong. Are you following, Corinne?
And the opposite is also true, I think, of shalom and shalem, that in order for a Kohen, like if a Kohen is doing the avoda on Yom Kippur, he has to have a completely focused and still heart. He can't be, he has to be at peace, he can't be distracted, and therefore in order for his avoda to be shalem, he has to also be b'shalom.
That's why you have to have a wife waiting in the wings. You know that. These old maids that... Oh, to me, an obvious one about shalom, it takes two to make shalom. So you have to have two parts of that love. Yeah, shalom is a what? The husband wants to stay together and the wife... No, it doesn't work. You need two people for shalom. So not looking at the vav as broken, you're looking at it as two parts of the... Like my parents, he said, Osa shalom b'mamav. How do you say Osa shalom? You go three back and three forward. He said, to make shalom, you have to, each person has to walk back and compromise. Isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful.
So, next thought that the Balatorum brings is, this looks like two yuds.
So, because it has to have the head to the yud also. No.
Okay, well, keep it simple. This is what the Balatorum says. He said, okay, Davar Acher, Matana Shlema Ani Noteno, I'm giving him a full type of gift. Asara Matanot B'Mikdash, he's going to get 10 specific things that the Kohen gets when he's serving in Mikdash. Asara B'Mdina, and he gets 10 specific things when he is not in Mikdash, but he's out within the countryside.
So that's the yud and the yud.
The yud and the yud. That's another one.
But it's not written like two yud. It's
written like two lines that are on top of each other. So the question is, what's a short line like that? It's a yud.
Wow.
Next thing, davar acher, vav k'tia, the vav that's broken, ki Pinchas hu Eliyahu, because Pinchas is in fact going to be the same soul that is going to go into Eliyahu. And
so how do you get that?
V'chein Eliyah k'tiv chaser. Sometimes we have Eliyahu's name written, Hinei Anochi Sholech Lachem et Eliyah Hanavi.
Right.
I'm going to send you, not Eliyahu, but Eliyah with the vav missing. So the vav that's missing is taken away, and here it is, it's in Pinchas. But not only that, K'tiv Chaser vav, Yaakov Maleva. And we have one time...
I know where it is. when they do, and the avot are backwards.
Mhm.
Avram and Eskor. It's in, I think, with the Tochacha.
It's in the Tochacha, yes. So, v'zacharti et briti
Right.
Yaakov, v'briti Yitzchak Eskor, v'briti Avraham Eskor.
Translate?
So, I'm going to remember my covenant, and normally you say Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov in that order, but at the end of the Tochacha, it's written in the backwards order. I'm going to remember Yaakov, and then Yitzchak,
Tochacha is the,
and then
how do you say Tochacha in
Avraham.
Admonition.
Rebuke,
Yeah,
admonition.
Where do we see this? Sorry?
So, at the end of Parshat Vayikra.
There's two
So,
places in the Torah
but
where
in any
says
case-
bad things are going to
Oh,
happen.
so
But in
you're
any
referring to
case-
something.
Yeah.
Okay.
specifically, we have an instance where Yaakov's
Well,
name
Yaakov's name
is
is with a vav.
written with an extra vav in it. Yud, Ayin, Kuf, Vav,
In that
Beit.
sentence.
Whereas normally it's Yud,
Yud,
Ayin, Kuf,
Beit.
Beit, no
Without
Vav.
the vav.
So, Yaakov had this Vav, Malay Vav, Shenital Vav Me'eliyahu. The Vav was taken away from Eliyahu, Lemishkon, Ad Shiavo Im Mashiach. It's Lemashkon. It's taken as
payment or collateral.
as collateral until Mashiach comes, V'yigal et banav, and he will redeem his children. V'zehu Yigal. So Tehillim says,
And collateral is written
Yagel
with
Yaakov,
vav.
Yaakov will be happy. Yismach Yisrael. That Yagel from Yigal. The people of Israel will achieve their happiness when Yaakov, his vav that he's given to Eliyahu, comes back to him.
All these explanations are in one. Where are they? Oh, you're
This
reading.
is Balatur.
All these ones are in Balatur?
The first two were not, and now we're reading all the ones in Balatur. And then I'm going to give you another one. Yismach Otiot Mashiach. Yismach has the same letters as Mashiach. If you turn them
Right.
around,
Jumble.
okay, so it's a jumble.
Anagram.
Sheyismach liyemot HaMashiach. It'll be happy for the days of Mashiach. V'yachzir havav, and he'll get the vav back. V'hei Eliyahu shalem. And at that point, Eliyahu will be shalem.
Right.
And if we think, oh, well, where are we getting this reference to Mashiach here? The word shalom, shin, lamed, vav, mem sofit, b'gimatria zehu Mashiach. The numerical value of shalom is the same as the numerical value of Mashiach. So this is our vav playing around in gematria in a variety of circumstances. And now we're going to come to Midrash.
So this shalom, this shalom refers to the time of Mashiach, when Yaakov will give back the vav to Eliyahu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that will be the time of Mashiach, and that's why the focus is on the vav and the
So
broken
Eliyahu will guard this vav until Mashiach comes, and then he'll give it back to Yaakov, who will be able to Yismach, which is Mashiach anagram. Yes?
Yes.
He's holding on to it until it's that time.
Eliyahu currently has the vav, or Yaakov currently has the vav.
So right now, Yaakov is giving it to Eliyahu to hold on to him until he can Yismach again, until Mashiach
How
comes.
come Shalom and
But
Mashiach? But Shalom and Mashiach are not the same gematria. Can't be. Have more children. You know, it can't be, because Vav is a 6, and all the other ones are Shalom is a 340, and Mem is 30. There's a 6. The other Mashiach is all.
Okay, so I'm going to have to.
Mashiach is 40.
No, wait, I'm going to
40
have to
and
play with this gematria, obviously, because it's one of those that does not seem to add up. I didn't do that beforehand.
Yeah. Have more
But
children.
you're saying that the 30, the lamed is 3.
So we're off by 2, right?
At least, yeah.
No.
Vav is a 6, and all the other ones are forms of 10, so it has to be by 4 maybe. Should be off by 4. Like all the other letters are
358 is
forms of 10.
Mashiach.
Yeah.
358 is Mashiach.
And Shalom is 376. So we're Zehu. We're adding the word Zehu Mashiach. We're adding Zayin Heva. Okay.
Yeah, Menachem Mendel Schneerson.
What is that?
That is.
That is Mashiach.
That sounds like
Okay,
that.
so
More children.
okay,
I
so
don't know if Corinne knows that have more children. Do you know that? Can I just tell it, even for our guests in Israel? people
we
make
turn
fun
the
of
camera
gematria. Gematria is one of the 70 ways of Torah. There's 70 different.
Yeah.
But gematria people tend to trivialize
make
or
it-
whatever.
yeah.
Because you really force it, you can think of any gematria. Like they add, then they keep adding this, or you spell certain letters. Like remember you said yud. Yud is usually a yud, but you can spell it yud vav dalet is also yud. Like there's different ways that. There's one rabbi who's going on and on and on to his class about Shabbos and Chulin, because Chulin was created halachic thinking of hot food, and it's a real Jewish food because Shabbat and Chulin are so interrelated that they even have the same gematria, and that's like proof that they're, you know what I mean? So everyone just accepts it. Oh, that's great. The way we accept what they're saying. And there's one kid who's a smart kid like me, let's say, and he's saying no, and he's going like this because he always challenges the rabbi, and the kids love him because he always, the rabbi thought it was wrong. So he's raising his hand to say that it's not the same gematria as Chulin. And the rabbi's ignoring, the teacher's ignoring him because he knows that he made it up and that this kid is right. But the rest of the class is saying, no, answer him, because they know that he's... So, okay, he said, okay, what do you want already? And he knows that it's not the same gematria as Chulin. So he says, okay, so have more Chulin. In other words, if you have more Chulin, then the gematria will sort of add up.
Okay.
That's the thing.
And the other comical gematria is the Lubavitch Rebbe's one.
Oh,
that
Beit Mashiach. They say
Balak is the same Roshei Tevot as V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You should love your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But wait.
But yeah.
Beit and Vav are different. Oh well, they sound almost the same. So Beit's like a Vav. L'reach v'ahavta. So it's a Vav, not a Beit. L'reacha and Lamed in the middle of Balak. So those are the same. But and kamocha is a Kaf. And in Balak it's a Kuf. Well, they sound almost the same. And then he says, well, they're completely different. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He says, you don't get it. If you love your neighbor like yourself, you'll excuse the little things.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, right.
You'll excuse the little things. They're little things. If you don't get it, then you don't understand v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. So, okay. So
let's keep on.
Now,
I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, okay.
now we're coming to yet another interpretation of our shalom.
Okay.
Shalom, what do these look like? Looks like two vavs on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, we've got to talk about what does vav mean.
Vav
Vav,
is a hanger, like a
vav is a hook.
A
Vav
hook,
is a
right.
thing that connects
connect.
two
exactly.
things.
You see by the
So,
even, yeah.
normally,
But
vav is talked about
is also a
something...
Hebrew word. No, it's only the fact that you wouldn't make me so
Alan,
He doesn't know what a vav is. I'm trying to...
Hebrew word that has the same 4 letters in a row, and is a proper Hebrew word.
It has the 4 letters in a row.
4 of the same letter in a row, and it's a proper Hebrew word.
It's in the Torah?
No.
Wait a minute, don't tell me. Well, the word vav meaning hook is vav vav, so wait a minute. But plural vavim, no, that's not it. I'm like, well, viv, wait a minute, viv vav vav.
Vivavo. With his
hanger.
with
With
his
his hook.
staff, with his hook.
Viv vav.
Vivavo. Vav, 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 vav.
Is that written anywhere?
No.
Okay, now, on that, can you shut up for 1 second?
But
It's just
it is a proper Hebrew
So I
word.
got it. Or, I said vav vav. No, but that would have
That had you'd
Am I supposed to turn this off now?
Yes, because, well,